We've got some recruiting updates coming up next here on Locked On Sooners. What's going on with Jake Kreul? Not Drake Kreul. Jake Kreul. My apologies.
Jake, not Drake.
I think the Kreul blended with the J. Anyway, but Jake Kreul, the 5-star on ESPN. We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. The Oklahoma Sooners and Jake Kreul continue to trend in a positive direction. It's down to Oklahoma. It's down to Texas. Just a couple weeks ago, it was Oklahoma, Florida, and Texas. So it sounds like Florida has kind of been removed from the picture a little bit. What do you make of where Oklahoma stands with Jake Kreul?
It does feel like Oklahoma's in the driver's seat, but the competition, a la Texas, our biggest competitor, seems to be trying to lean in and take away what Oklahoma's trying to do. Now, Texas has been on a spending spree as of late. They told everybody that they're recruiting only to get people for culture and you know the essence of Texas, and they have Lamborghinis on the field, and they pay a lot of people. So it feels like it's the complete opposite of everything they said that this was supposed to be. So I don't know what they're trying to sell, what wolf tickets they're selling out to you people. Y'all falling for it, because I'm not. I know exactly what it is. They're throwing that money out there. Stop lying, Sarkeesian. But Jake Kreul is one that they're trying to spend like crazy on. Now, I mean, I know that they've been, like I said, winning defensive linemen. They just picked up, they got Richard Wesley recently, and they're pushing for Jake. But I think Oklahoma may have the in to win that battle. It feels like he really likes Oklahoma. He's been a fan every time he's visited. He's talked them up. Ole Miss, of course, is trying to make a run, but to me, I still feel like it's going to be Oklahoma's win to lose.
I mean, Miguel Chavis has done a really good job in this recruitment. He's built a really strong relationship with Jake Kreul. Now it's just a matter of taking it to the finish line. Get that commitment, get that signature, and get him on campus. He's an elite pass rusher. I don't care where rivals dropped him to. The dude's an elite pass rusher. You flip it on, you see it. You see the twitchiness, you see the athleticism, you see the pass rush moves, you see the ability to win inside, outside, you see the ability to win with speed, with power. The kid is just ready to play college football. He's ready to make the jump and take the next step. He's a 5-star according to ESPN. He's 4-star everywhere else. He's a really good player. And I hope Oklahoma lands him, because with our Mason Thomas going off to the NFL after this year, you got to start finding that next great pass rusher. I'm not saying he's going to be it year one as a true freshman in 2026, but you've got to have an answer to that question, and it can't delay. So getting a guy like Jake Kreul, because you got to stack them recruiting class after recruiting class after recruiting class. You can't have just one every few years and expect that that's going to carry you over. You've got to continue to stack really good pass rushers, just like you got to continue to stack really good defensive tackle prospects. So if Oklahoma can land Jake Kreul, that'd be absolutely huge for the future. I think they've got a great chance. I mean, we'll see what it all comes down to. The other interesting recruiting nugget here, Jay, is Oklahoma offered a Northwestern linebacker commit, Jacob Curry, out of Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. He's a 3-star prospect in the 2026 recruiting class. Also recently got an offer from Baylor. So I'm really intrigued by this Jacob Curry kid. We talked about him before we came on. Very interesting player here.
Yeah, it's interesting about him because it looks like he plays more cheetah, like a safety hybrid, less linebacker. But the dude is everything that Oklahoma likes in a player. He hits, he wraps up. Sooner Nation, let's keep it a buck. The one thing I've complained about the most about Oklahoma's defense before Brent Venables got here is the ability to tackle, right? You want dudes that will wrap people up, because they weren't wrapping up in the old regime, and we had issues with that. This kid does that. He wraps up like crazy. Watching the film, and I'm just like, okay, he puts his head first. He makes sure he's got his player wrapped, and he's driving his feet and pushing them back. He's everything that y'all say y'all want when it comes to a defender that we would go after. So to me, he's one to me keep your eyes on, because I think that Oklahoma can. This is maybe one that they may potentially flip, just because of the fact that he's one that goes headfirst into the backfield and makes a tackle.
He was the all-county defensive player of the year for St. Augustine's County. He had 101 total tackles. He had 12 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, Jay. 8 sacks. Like,
in 7 pass breakups.
Yeah, you talked about how he just kind of plays everywhere. Like, literally, he plays everywhere, from lining up on the edge to playing too high safety to lining up over the slot wide receiver and playing man coverage. Like, literally lines up everywhere. That's why we're thinking that Oklahoma sees him as a cheetah. And yeah, you could see him helping any college football team in a number of ways. You're not going to slot him in as just one thing, because he can do so many different things for you really, really well. I like the way he times his blitzes off the edge, because it's not always just a straight pass rush. Like, he's a blitzer that's extra, but he times it so well that offensive linemen can't get their hands on him. He plays with good speed, good strength, good power. He finishes his tackles very, very, like, if you pair him with the Jandros, like, that's a lot of talent and a lot of speed that you're going to be adding to the linebacker cheetah situation in the 2026 recruiting class.
Yeah, he's an interesting one that they're going after. Like, I know that they're looking for some additional safety after the Jacob Eberhardt situation that went down. So, they're going to be pushing for someone. And the good thing is, also remember, a lot of these prospects, they fly up the charts when certain schools start going after them. Yeah. So Baylor's pushing for him. Oklahoma, Louisville recently. He had a visit from Louisville. It feels like Oklahoma is trying to, of course, if there's one thing we know Brent Venables likes, is this, John. He loves Florida boys. Mm-hmm. Like, that's, if there's a state that he tries his hardest to snatch up at least 2 or 3 prospects from, it's Florida. And he did that at Clemson. He did that when he was here at Oklahoma before. He has a thing for it. And he may be another one of those under-the-radar players, those diamonds in the rough that Jim Nagy's going after, on top of the top prospects that they're pushing for.
We'll see what Oklahoma does, because, again, this is a really intriguing offer. I wouldn't say late in the cycle, but fairly late in the cycle. I mean, we're less than 6 months from the early signing period. High school football starts getting underway in less than a month in some places. So this is a kid that probably wants to have his high school or his college decision pretty well solidified before his senior season starts. We'll see if Oklahoma is able to get a flip out of it. That's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. You can follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay. I'm John. Boomer Sooner.